George Elokobi, a very renowned player with Wolverhampton, a Premier League club, who's gone through Wolverhampton, a Premier League club in the United Kingdom. A Cameroonian who has made waves during the championship in England. But then, George comes from somewhere, from Cameroon, from Sasse College, from Manual Division. And before he got to this stage, he must have started somewhere. Now, George, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can we talk about your amateur career from Sasse College, where you went to school, until you went into real civilian football?
Firstly, coming from Kumba and then all the way to St. Joseph's College Sasse, where I began playing football for the school team. I announced myself in Sasse College playing against Form 1 versus Form 2, scoring 2 goals in that game. That won us the game 2-1 for Form 1. Immediately, everyone took notice of young George Elokobi. I remember fully well every senior student in campus at the time wanted to seek more information about where I came from, where I learned how to strike the ball so well. But all this hadn't been coached. I've never been to any professional football club or academy. It was just playing in the streets back home in Kumba. And then I took this into Sasse College. And I also made history in Sasse, being one of the first students in Form 1 to actually represent the school team. So I was selected to play for the school team whilst I was in Form 1. And I remember during assembly on a Monday, my name at the time, the principal was Monsignor, was called by the sports master, who asked me to come in front of the entire school for everyone to applaud myself, and it was a surreal moment for me. That kept me in good stead. To obviously carry on enjoying my football, being in Sasse. And throughout my time in Sasse, I represented the school team extremely well, but also anywhere there was football, you saw young George Elokobi being extremely competitive. I wanted to win at all costs. I wanted to win every football match I played in, every competition that was done in the campus itself. I wanted to make sure I won, or my team won. And straight away you could see those leadership qualities in myself that gave me the upper hand amongst the other students. I had this fearless mentality. Whilst I was on the football pitch, I was afraid of nobody. I knew it was 1v1, man against man, player against player. I was never shy of little arguments or confrontations on the football pitch. And that kept me in good stead to carry on playing and enjoying football and announcing myself as one of the good players that came through the school ranks at my time in Sasse. And eventually I became, school team captain at, in Form 3. I became the school team captain, and I led St. Joseph's College Sasse into the competitions we played away from the school campus. Some were against Bishop Rogan, which is another Catholic boarding school. Repacol, I can remember St. Francis in Kumba, going there and winning a tournament under the principal, Father Josh Keze, before I left for the UK.
Did any Sasse College, did any clubs approach you, maybe to join them? Some of these civilian clubs, Prisons of Buea, neighborhood clubs, Victoria United and so on?
The one that I took notice of was when we played, there was a team from Mutengene that was arranged by Father Josh Nkeze to come and play us at the school campus. And I had a slight injury, so I didn't start the first half in that game. But Sasse College was losing 1-0 to this football team. Yep, that's it. Top Tazan Mutengene. Yep, that's it. Thank you very much. So we played. Top Tazan was 1-0 up, and at halftime, I decided to put myself on the field of play. So I brought myself on. We won a penalty. Guess who stood up to take that? George Elokobi. Took it, made it 1-0, scored. So you could tell straight away as soon as I got on the football pitch, the momentum changed from Top Tazan dominating possession to us now dominating possession and obviously winning the penalty to make the game 1-0. And it didn't end there. I kept pushing, and there was this thing with myself. I had the mentality of, if I score a goal against your team and I feel like your danger man or your attackers are a threat to our team, I went and I played in defense. And I stopped whoever I was up against, whoever was that threat. I made sure I stopped them. So in hindsight, you could say that was the making of me, to never back down, to be resilient, to be that force, the driving force behind a team. So again, I come back to the leadership qualities that I showed from that young age.
Young age, right?
And I can remember, coming back now to your question, after the game, some of the coaches spoke to Father Josh Keze about me coming to train with them a couple of times, and that was run past myself, and I declined because I knew straight away my mom would never agree for me to be able to go out and and play with Top Tazan Mutengene, and that was it. And also I was approached by PPW de Kumba, and they came to my house in Kumba, to the family home, knocked on the door, and they were sent packing away. Yeah, they were sent back.
So after this experience, you found yourself in England. Of course, coming to England not to play professional football, but to go to school. So
that's
how
right.
did it turn out when you came to England?
I came to England January 21st, 2002, excuse me, to obviously carry on to further my education. And the one thing my mom said to me was, the football you've been playing back home, I've heard about it, forget it. It's not going to happen here in England, especially in London. I want you to achieve your education fully, forget about playing football, because I don't think you've got the ability to make it pro here. And I said to her, yes, mom. And it sort of happened after about 6-7 months of me being into the country, not knowing anyone, not having too many friends. I actually found a park, Kennington Park, in London, in South London, and I began going there on several occasions every evening, because I noticed there were a group of boys that played every evening, and on numerous occasions I was rejected, rightly so. I took no offense to it. I didn't sound like them. For one, I was not from their community. They've not seen me. I've just come new into the country, and I just kept saying, one day you realize how good I am in football, and you'll be wanting me to come in every single evening and playing. And it sort of happened once one of the boys didn't come to play at the park. I was present on that evening, and they said to me, "Oh, do you fancy coming on and helping us and playing to make up the numbers?" I went, sure. And that was it. From that very moment, it was the breakthrough of George Elokobi, because as soon as I played against the players I played with, or with this group of boys, it became straight away I was better than each and every one of them in terms of the football, the knowledge, and believe me or not, the next day when I went there, they asked me to pick the team. and everyone wanted me to be the leader. Everyone wanted me to always show up. I became the captain at the park.
And the focal point.
Yeah, at the park.